What's up, everybody? How's it going? Fourhim2013 here, back with another stream. Tonight I want to talk to you guys about something that was kind of like on my mind. It's more sort of like an impromptu, video. I was just thinking about like something that I had posted on my Facebook wall. It was a picture that said, we don't need, the world doesn't need opinions, it needs more examples. And, I was pondering on that post because, it's so true, especially what we see like in our day and age, what's happening right now through this pandemic, through the protests and rioting and the different injustices that's going on in the world. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying injustice, and somebody may say, oh, injustice, so he's, all for the rioting and burning and stuff. Like, no, I'm not for that. I speak for myself when I say that there are better ways that it could be handled. But I'm saying that because example really does matter. And in my experience growing up, if you ever, I guess in a sense, want to be heard, or your thoughts and what you got to say sought after, then you have to sort of show that, like, that example. At the same time, you have to be ready for an opposition to come your way, to put it down, your idea down, to criticize you, whatever. At the same case, I'm always ready to take criticism or to be corrected where I may be wrong or may have misunderstood something. But nonetheless, example matters in everything that you do. I'm not going to post anything on my social media page that I myself won't exemplify in real life. If I tell you guys about being positive and just sticking it out and just being there for one another, any way that you can, I'm going to exemplify that very thing in real life. If any of you guys that know me and know me well, could probably say that I try to stay positive about life. I try to stay motivated. I also try to help others who are in need if I'm able to. Sometimes everybody's not able to readily be there in the way that somebody else may want them to be there, but there's other ways that you can be there for somebody. That's one thing that I want to touch on. Let's say, for example, you are in, I don't know, let's just say you get into some minor accident and, you have to go to the doctor, get checked up, and you want one of your friends to be there. That's your preference. You want them to be there by your side. But your friend is all the way like in another state, and they really want to be there for you, but it'll be just slightly inconvenient, or even just inconvenient altogether for them to get to you in the time frame that you would like them to. But instead, they may shoot you a text, a call, or they may even video chat you if they're familiar with that, and just say, hey, I'm there for you, whatever you need. If you just need me to just kind of listen to you, then that's cool. Just let me know what happened, and of course, when I get back, we can take care of things. And you may say, well, I wanted you to be there by my side. You wasn't there by my side. And the friend would explain to you, give different reasons why they was not able to be by your side right when you wanted them to. But, you may not accept that. And that's one thing that we have to sort of adjust to. That's one thing that we have to adapt to, especially now. And I think, I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm very guilty when it comes to constant communication with individuals, whether it be family, friends, whoever. Sometimes you get me. I speak for myself. Get so caught up in everyday activity and just life and things that's going on in my life that sometimes I may forget to contact people who I see often, or loved ones, or whatever the case, because just life, busyness, and things happen. But if I could say that, and I'm pretty sure every one of you guys can probably vouch for me when I say this, that just because we lose that contact, it doesn't mean that we love you or care for you any less. It's just sometimes people get caught up in life, because things of that sort, it just gets crazy. But being an example, nonetheless, is definitely the thing that we need in life. So I just want to say, I guess I can title this video, no opinions but examples, or something of that sort. I'll upload it and you guys will see it. But it's very important, guys. It's easy to sit behind that phone and just throw all of these opinions out there, but unless you're out there really making a change on a day-to-day basis, with real life people, then that your voice is just a voice. You gotta get out there and be that example. Then people will start hearing you out. And I'm sure we can take that advice in so many ways, on so many levels, especially in what's going on in society right now, is that we got to go out there and be an example. And I guess since we're on the subject, we can talk about like the riots and the protests and stuff. I know that there are very concerned people out there that want to get justice for people who have been done wrong, unfortunately, by a few bad apples in our society. And there are a few bad apples in our society and in everything that happens. But it doesn't mean that the whole bunch is the sum of it all. They don't. The few doesn't speak for the many in this case. Because think about it. I mean, if we place that stigma on a group of people because of a few things that we may have been disappointed by or surprised by, or just the example and the impression just was not there. If we say that is the way to identify, then it can be said, the finger can be pointed right back at us, that what we do, somebody else can say, you know what, your whole family is like that. All of your family is like that. You may say, wait a minute, hold up. Maybe somebody in your family may be acting a certain kind of way, and somebody may say, well, your whole family is like that. You're like, wait a minute, hold up. They don't speak for me. I'm not like that. Their actions is, what they do. It's not what, that's not me. We're the same family, but, it's not me. And so you got to think about that on that scale. Well, what if you were placed in a predicament? Your family, you, was placed in a predicament where somebody else who was in your circle did something, but that person identified as a whole. Let's just talk about my job for a second. I work in retail. Okay, what if one retail associate decided to go on a crazy ranting spree and just cursing out everybody and just going ballistic on customers? And what if the customers say, well, you know what, the whole store is just really bad. Don't go to that store. That whole store is bad. Everybody is bad. They yell, they scream, they curse at everybody. And it may be somebody in there who be like, wait a minute, I work there, but that's not how I act. You just placed a stereotype or a stigma on me that somebody else had did, and that's not right. And some of you guys would agree with me and say that's not right, because everybody isn't like that. But there are some people out there who unfortunately just kind of let the one or the two speak for the many, and it's not fair, because you're not necessarily giving the many who don't exemplify that kind of action or actions, you're not giving them a voice, a chance to speak or explain themselves. And I think that the whole reason that we are in a situation that we're in now is because somebody said everybody is like this, and then give the rest of everyone to state their case. And so now the people who are unable to state their case have this stigma, and now everybody is suffering for it. And so now we're just like in this huge commotion. But again, guys, it's just a matter of understanding one another. It's just a matter of getting to know one another. It's just a matter of really like everything that goes on in life, everything that happens. We have to see it. If it starts small, we got to see it on a grand scale. If it starts on a grand scale, we got to see it on a very small micro scale. That, you know, if it was a general issue, or, you know, if the issue was generalized, or it just affected everyone generally. Let's say a particular issue that happened with you, and you preferred everybody to have to deal with that. Well, guess what? Everybody wouldn't deal with it the same way that you deal with it, because everybody has a different tolerance level, different threshold, and we can go down the list. Or if a general issue is taking place, and you may say, you know what? Why don't we look at it from an individual perspective? Well, the individual perspective will be different for everybody. So, you know, we have to sort of like kind of come to like a common ground, if that makes sense, about everything that's going on. And one thing I can say, and one thing I'm just gonna throw out there, is that we should just sit back and just think about it. Think before we act, right? And, you know, sometimes you throw an opinion out there, and maybe that's all that some people may have, is just like an opinion that they are incapable of displaying it in action. And there are some people who unfortunately physically can't act out what they think should be done because of, you know, they might be limited physically or mentally. But to those who are able to be out there and display that example, what you say has to, you have to be able to walk the walk and talk the talk at the same time. Many times I've seen people place different opinions online about different things, and in person it's just separated. And I'm thinking, like, I can't really take what you're saying serious because I don't necessarily see that in person. So something to think about, guys. I wasn't gonna, you know, necessarily like do like a video or anything, but I just figured I'd get that, you know, to you guys, because I think that it's something that you guys can think about, or you know, I think it's just good information. Any information that I have, I like to think that I'm somewhat resourceful, that I have a little bit of something inside this noggin of mine that I'd like to share with you guys that I think would be beneficial. But I will say this, that I'm gonna try to do more impromptu videos, you know, because many times I'm not, you know, I've learned from seeing other people do like their videos and stuff like that, that sometimes you can't just have this huge plan of how you're gonna do it. You just gotta get out there and just do it. Especially if you got some valuable information that you want to share with people. I might hop on here and want to share a poem or something with you guys. But pretty much that's it, guys. So I just want to say thank you guys for joining me on this live recording. And as always, catch you next time.